Rolling.
So we once again have Sarah Hamilton to help us with taking care of our bodies for Flow Arts and Poi. And today we're in Inside Out Physiotherapy, where she's a practitioner. And we're going to talk today in this video about warm-ups. When I lead classes, the moment I mention warming up, people immediately start doing stretches. And my understanding is stretching, that's not necessarily the best way to prevent injury, and really it's about literally warming up. And what are your thoughts? How do we do it?
Well, stretching is a part of preventing injury when it's used in combination with other things, not alone. So the whole point of warming your body up is to actually warm your body up. So we want our body temperature to rise, we want our breathing rate to rise, we want our heart rate to rise, maybe even you start to sweat or perspire a little bit, and really you start to feel like your body's warm. You're starting to take your clothes off because you're too hot in all of your layers. Okay, so stretching comes later. The whole point of stretching is to elongate tissues that are already warm. So if you're going to stretch in your program, it should be later. So the whole point of, another point of warming up is to wake up the connection between your brain and your body. So have you ever tried a skill and you try it first off the bat and it's just not happening? But the more you warm up and the more you practice, it starts to come together. So that's one thing that's happening in your warm-up. Another thing is you're also getting mobility and fluid moving through the joints. So you want to make sure that you explore all of your joints in Poi when you're doing your warm-up, not just your shoulders or not just your neck. You want to go through your whole body. So when you're structuring your warm-up, there's a couple of things you can think about in order to make sure you're covering all your bases. So first of all, you want to make sure you're exploring global body movement first. So that means you're exploring low impact first, moving to higher impact as you move along. Yeah. You're starting with small ranges of motion first and getting bigger and bigger and bigger with your movement. Exactly. You want to play with speed. So you want to start slow, moving slow, and then start pumping it up after you're starting to get a little bit warmer. You want to play with levels. So you want to explore the world above and the world below. Exactly. And also you want to think about direction changes, right? So you want to think, okay, I'm moving my body forward, sideways, backwards, and everything in between. So that's the global body movement part that you can start off with. And as you're moving through that and you feel like you've covered all your bases, you can start exploring some of the movements that you're going to do specifically in Poi. So starting off with shoulder movement, yeah, and keeping it, again, you can apply those same principles, starting off slow and then slowly increasing in speed. Good. And eventually you want to change that and make it a coordination challenge. So something that is tricky for your brain to command your body and you keep going, oh, well, that's not how I meant to do it, right? But you want to challenge your coordination in your warm-up. Yeah. Nick's doing a good job of all these things. And then after you've done all of that, now it's time to add some gentle stretching. So one thing you can think about with your gentle stretching is that if you've covered all those bases, your stretches should be easier. So if I were to start off with this, it would feel really, really tight. But if in my warm-up I did some range of motion explorations, getting bigger and bigger, and moving through the motion I want to stretch later, good, and then adding the stretch, it's not going to be as tight, your muscles are going to be warmer, and it's going to feel better and you're going to be at less risk for injury. Yeah, nice. Good.
So those are the components of a good warm-up. If that's still tough to remember all that on your own, we're also going to make some videos where we'll literally just take you through a full warm-up and you can do it with us. We're hoping we can even get some of you who are really enthusiastic to submit your own warm-up videos. So that'll all be linked to from below. If you're on Playpoi, it'll be down here below our feed. And just put it on at home, or have some friends take it with you on your iPod, and that'll make sure that you do a good warm-up. And it's also a lot of fun. So keep coming back and get sweaty with us.